Yes, good morning, everyone. Today we have Mohit Singhal. He is from Mohit Singhal and Associates, New Delhi. He is a company secretary practitioner, and his main focus area is corporate law, company law, securities law, insolvency and bankruptcy laws, inbound and outbound investments, legal due diligence, transaction documents, joint ventures, and so on. His main strength is listing and capital market transactions. He is undertaking various corporate related activities like formation of limited liability partnerships, incorporation of all kinds of companies in India, establishment of branch, license, and representative office in India, issuing issues related to share capital, mortgage and hypothecation, liquidation, and winding up of companies. He's acting as scrutinizer of the company for scrutinizing the e-voting or postal ballot process. His reputed client base includes Vijaya Bank, Trinity Group, eSchoolBuddy.com, IOV Pacific Group, Wellbe, Marshall Machines Limited, InvestCare, and so on. I'm happy to uh, I'm happy that you are here for addressing our students, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Now you can carry on the session. And before the session, I just want to make some clarifications.
So,
If participants are having any doubts, they will post that in chat, sir. Based on the query that you receive, you decide whether it can be addressed in the middle of the session or whether you are going to address it at the last of the session. That is left to you, sir. And
can
those
we?
participants who are having doubts can raise your hand. Hello.
Yes, sir. Can we discuss the queries at the last of the at the end of the
Uh,
session?
ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು.
yes, yes.
ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಬರತ್ತೇನೋ.
Sir.
ನೀವು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಇವರು ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್.
Hello.
ಅಂಡ್ ಇವರು ಭರತ್ ಆರ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಕೇಳಿ.
Yes, Mohit sir, you can start the session.
Yes, sir.
The participants will be posting the queries in chat itself.
Sure. Let me share the screen, sir. Is it visible to the all participants, sir? Brother, can you please confirm whether the screen is shared? Brother? Great. Thanks for the confirmation. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate on the World Intellectual Property Day, which is celebrated on every year from the 2000 onwards on April 26th. Every year, the World Intellectual Property Day is celebrated on April 26th. The day is celebrated to highlight the importance of intellectual properties The day is celebrated by the World Intellectual Property and several other intellectual organizations. This year, World Intellectual Property Organization or World Intellectual Property Day is celebrated under the following theme, that is IP and SME, taking your ideas to the market. World Intellectual Property Day was established by the World WIPO in 2000. It aimed to increase awareness on how copyright, patent, design, and trademark impact on daily life. There is a question why April 26 is selected for this day or to celebrate the World Intellectual Property Day. Actually, in 1970, when the World Intellectual Property Organization agreement was signed, convention established in 1970 on April 26. So that's why this day is celebrated on April 26. Let me come to the before going to the main slides or main about the World Intellectual Properties. We would cover in this session about the World Intellectual Property Organization. What is WIPO? Goals of World Intellectual Property Organization. Relationship between World Intellectual Property Organization, World Trade Organization, and TRIPS, that is trade-related aspects of intellectual properties agreement. Then we going to the intellectual properties, that is background of intellectual property in India, new and modified versions of the intellectual property rights in India. Thereafter, we will going to the mainstream of the intellectual properties in India, that is the trademark, copyright, and patent. Under the trademark, we will discuss what is the trademark, type of the marks, classes under which the trademark are registered, process of application of trademark in India, miscellaneous provisions covered under the Trademark Act, which I think would be required to discuss and would be benefited to our participants. Thereafter, we will going to the Copyright Act. There we will we will discuss what is copyright, what type of work can be copyrighted, what type of right are covered, miscellaneous provisions of the copyright. Thereafter, we will going to the patent, and we will discuss about the what is patent, what kind of inventions can be patented, a right granted to the patentee, what cannot be patent, and miscellaneous provisions about the patent. So about the World Intellectual Property Organization. The World Intellectual Property Organization is the global forum for intellectual property, policy, services, information, and cooperation. It is a specialized agency of United Nations. WIPO assists its 193 state members in developing a balanced international IP legal framework to meet society evolving needs. It provides business service to obtain IP rights in multiple countries and resolving disputes. It delivers capacity building programs to help developing countries benefited from the IP. And it provides free access to unique knowledge bank of IP information. Let to the what is IP? What is WIPO? World Intellectual Property is a global forum for intellectual property services, policy, information, and cooperation. It is a self-funded agency of the United Nations with 193 state members. Mission of the WIPO is to lead the developing of a balanced, effective international IP system that enable innovation and creativity for the benefit for all. Our mandate, governing bodies, and procedures are set in a WIPO convention which established WIPO in 1967. Actually, the intellectual properties are much earlier or recognized before the WIPO. In 14th century, even 15th century, patent provisions are enforced in the British area, where the innovations or inventions are patented, so that the patentee can use the mark freely and gain the benefit of its creation. What are the goals of the WIPO? Promoting a balanced IP system and realizing its development potential, strengthening IP infrastructure, institutions, and human resources, progressive development of international IP law, delivery of quality services in global IP protection system, greater efficiency of management and support process. There is a three type of agreements or three type of agencies are there. That is, first is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. Second is World Trade Organization. Third one is TRIPS. TRIPS is an agreement that is trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. The World Trade Organization agreement on trade related aspects of intellectual property rights, that is TRIPS agreement, which came into force in 1995, brought with this a new era in the multilateral protection and enforcement of IP rights. Provisions in the TRIPS agreement concerning copyright and related aspects, patents, trademark, global geographical indications, industrial designs, layout designs of integrated circuits directly complement the international treaties administered by the WIPO Secretary. An agreement between WIPO and the World Trade Organization since 1996 provides the cooperation concerning the implementation of the TRIPS agreement, such as notifications of the law and regulations and legislative assistance to the member countries. Assistance continues to be provided to many developing countries with a special focus on those least developed countries which need to meet their TRIPS obligation by 2013. Actually, the TRIPS agreement make a implementing authority or make the implement to the 193 countries to provide or to be self-governing provisions. Let's say to be a one structure in all global forums, so that the practice between the countries are to be same. Then we are going come to the intellectual properties. What are the intellectual properties? What can be covered under the intellectual properties? Background of intellectual property in India. India, being a member of World Trade Organization, also becomes signatory to the agreement on trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. Accordingly, many new legislation were passed and or made amendment in the existing law for the protection of intellectual property rights to meet the obligation internationally. This agreement make the member countries or to be obligatory to amend their laws, amend their existing structures to be as per the structure provided by the World Intellectual Property Organizations. So accordingly, the India is being a member of this TRIPS agreement, being a member of the WIPO, being a member of the WTO, required to make certain amendments or to amend the existing law or to legislate new legislation in India to meet the requirements of the World Intellectual Property Organization. Indian statutes, enforcement provisions, and method of dispute resolution with respect to the intellectual property protections are now fully TRIPS compliant. There are the certain IP laws which are defined under the WIPO agreement, TRIPS agreement, and what are the existing law before the TRIPS and after TRIPS, what are the new legislation. Trademarks. The Trade and Merchandise Mark Act 1958 comes and amended to the Trademark Act 1999. Same with the patents. The Patent Act 1970 becomes the Trademark Patent Act 2005. Same with the copyrights and related rights. Copyright Act remains same, but various amendments take place in 2002, 2005, 2009, and last amendment made in 2012. Same with the industrial design. Earlier, India followed the Design Act 1911. And after coming into the force of WIPO agreement or TRIPS agreement, Design Act 1911 becomes the Design Act 2000. Same with the geographical indication. There is no existing law in India. Geographical indication of goods, Registration and Protection Act 1999 was introduced by the India and become a legislation in India for registering the geographical indication. Layout design of integrated circuits. There is no such existing law in India. Then India came up with a semiconductor integrated circuits layout design 2000. Same with the plant varieties. There is no such provisions or legislation in India to uh, give a protection to the plant varieties. Therefore, as per the WIPO, as per the TRIPS, India formulated its legislation in the protection of plant varieties and farmers' right 2001. Same with the data protection. India came up with the Information Technology Act 2000. Now come up with the Trademark Act 1999. There are some pictures represented over the screen. Yahoo. There is a small symbol of R reflected in the exclamation mark of Yahoo. This reflects that the Yahoo word is a registered trademark. Same with Adidas. Above the S, word S, there are small symbol of R, which reflects that it is a registered trademark. Same with the FedEx Corporation. Above the T of the corporation, reflecting the small R in circle, which reflects that FedEx Corporation is a registered trademark. So we are going to study what are the trademarks, what are the types of the trademark, classes under which the trademark application should be made, what is the process of application of trademark, and what are the miscellaneous provisions governing the Trademark Act. So come up with what is trademark? Just a primary function of the trademark is to distinguish the goods and services provided by a trader or a service provider from those provided by other traders or service provider. Let's say we are going to purchase an air conditioning. There's different varieties or different brands available in the market. Like let's say Mitsubishi, LG, Voltas. How we can differentiate which air conditioning is better for us, or which air conditioning quality is best? We are determining from the brand. So brand differentiate the product from the others. So a trademark is therefore an important element of any business, as it not only identifies a trader, it also communicates to consumer that the goods or service bearing the mark come from a unique source, distinguishable from all other sources from those goods or services. A mark capable of being represented graphically and which is capable of distinguish the goods or services of one person from others are capable of trademark to register as a trademark. There are few other persons are waiting. So type of trademark: a device, brand, heading, label, ticket, name, signature, word, letter, numeral, shape of goods, packing, or combination of color or any combination of colors or any combination thereof, and sound marks can be registered as a trademark. There are few examples listed over the screen. Word mark. There is a pictorial representation of the Coca-Cola, eBay, IBM, Google. They are the classic example of the word mark. Same with the color mark. There are combination of color marks like CNBC, Bharat Petroleum, and so on. There is some example of device mark. Device marks, let's say a logo. Logo of Facebook can be easily represented. McDonald's, Twitter, Toyota, Nike. These marks, these are the logos of their brand. And there are certain examples of the shape of goods which can be trademarked under the Trademark Act. There is a shape of bottle. There is shape of biscuit. There is a shape of chocolate. There is a shape of medicines. So they are also eligible to be registered as a trademark under the Trademark Act. There is a sound mark as well. If we are see the cartoon that is Tom and Jerry, there is a sound mark in the initial of the starting of this session or starting of the cartoon. There's a sheer roaring. So this can also be a trademark under the Trademark Act as a sound mark that can be patented, so that no one can copy that mark or infringe that mark. So what are the classes or the classes registered under the Trademark Act? Basically, there are 45 classes defined by the World Intellectual Property Organizations, and which is confirmed under the Trademark Act 1999. So there are 45 classes divided into two parts. First part is consisting first class 1 to class 34, which are basically divided for the manufacturing activities or manufacturing of goods. And next 11 classes, say that is classes 35 to classes 35 are basically for the services. This is a small process of registering the trademark application in India. I hope it is visible or can be do the justice with this pictorial representation of the process chart of registering the trademark in India. We need to file an application before the Registrar of Trademark in TMA application. This is the format provided under the Trademark Act and Trademark Rules 2017. Once we filed an application before the Trademark Authority, the Trademark Authority forward this application for formality check. For the formality check, if the formality check is passed, that is going for the examination. If that formality check or there is some discrepancy in the found out in the formality check, then we come up with a formality check failed report, and the applicant required to remove that objections within a period of 30 days. If we successfully remove and the registrar is satisfied with this our reply, then he forward our application to the examiner for the examination report. Otherwise, the application will be abandoned. Once the application is forwarded to the examination report, either the clean report will be issued by the examiner or qualified report is issued by the examiner. If the clean report is issued by the examiner, then it is going for the publication in the Trademark General and open for objection and invite for the objection from the general public within a period of 3 months. And general public can file its objection or opposition within a period of 3 months. If the qualified report is issued, then the applicant need to reply or submit their reply to the examination authority, that is registrar, within a period of 30 days. If the examiner is satisfied with our examination report reply, then it is publish our trademark in the Trademark General. Otherwise, he will fix the hearing, and before the hearing, we need to satisfy the queries reply of our trademark to the examiner. If the examiner is satisfied with our representation given before the examiner, then he will publish the application publication of our trademark in the Trademark General. Otherwise, he refuses the mark and our application will be rejected. Once the application is going for the publication in the Trademark General, then it is open for objection. It is open for opposition by the public persons or the other proprietor of the trademark. If any public feels aggrieved to the registration of this trademark, he can file an application before the Trademark Authority or Registrar of Trademark in TMO application for opposing the mark for registration. And the matter will go forward to the opposition and going for the hearing of application of opposition. Once the matter is going for the opposition, applicant and the opposition who filed the application for opposition represent before the examiner and satisfy their queries. If the examiner is satisfied the query of the applicant of the application of the trademark, then he will publish again for the 1 month, and the certificate of registration will be issued by the examiner. This is the complete cumbersome process of the trademark. It will take approximately 6 months to 3 years based on the stage-wise process. If the application is processed in one go without having any objection in any stage, then the application will be accepted within a period of 6 months. Otherwise, it will take us 3 years because of the hearing matter. Because hearing matter comes on FIFO basis, and FIFO basis there are long queue or waiting for the hearing of application of a 2 or 2.5 years. So whenever we are going for filing an application before the trademark authority for the registration of trademark, we are generally suggested for inspection of the trademark, whether the probability for getting the mark is high or low. If the probability is high, then we recommend to our client to registration process to be go on or give green signal to the registration. Otherwise, we will give the amber signal to the applicant. What are the main other provisions under the Trademark Act? Fees. Under the Trademark Act, two kind of fees are given. One is rupees 10,000, 10,000 and 5,000. 5,000 to those applicants who are individual or startup entities or small medium enterprises, and 10,000 for others persons who are not covered under the Part 1. So, and one concession is also given by the current government of 10% if the applicant filed an application on digitally mode. If the application is filed digitally, then 10% concession given by the government. This is just to promote the Digital India campaign. Generally, the trademark is registered for 10 years from the date of application. And the trademark is valid, liable to be or eligible to be renewed at every interval of 10 years. Either the application for renewal can be filed 6 months before its validation or up to 6 months of its validation. There is a window of 1 year. Infringement is a process where a person uses a registered mark or a mark which is used by a certain person from the long back. Then this is a case of an infringement. Suppose Mr. A using the mark Z for its product since 2000, and Mr. B come up with a small or slightly difference, or let's say similar mark of Z. So for the same product or services on which the Mr. A is providing. So this is a case of infringement, and Mr. A having authority, having our legal rights to file an application for the infringement before the civil court. There are numerous of examples available in the market. The mark Eclair is used by Nestle India as well as Cadbury. Cadbury India as well as ITC. And ITC won this case on the Eclairs, and Cadbury required to change its mark or change its name. Similar with the other Starbucks case. There is a person, Sardar Bucks, using the mark with a similar logo, which is using by the Starbucks. So after hearing the matter, Supreme Court decided that the Starbucks is infringing the right of the Starbucks. So Sardar Bucks is required to change his mark and use a different mark other than the Starbucks. There is numerous of examples available in the market, which is duly confirmed by the Supreme Court of India as well. There is a sale, transfer, and licensing. There's numerous of questions are asking during our webinars and seminars and all, whether a mark is registered in my name. So can I allow certain other person to use this mark? The answer is yes, with a certain compliances. If I want to give a right or permission to use the mark which is registered under my name to a Mr. B or Mr. X or certain XYZ person. So there is an agreement is required to be executed. That is agreement, a deed of assignment. After executing the deed of assignment, a person can determine whether the right is transfer is fully or certain with restrictions, or certain rights are transferred. If I transferred permission, or I give a permission to use a mark certain for certain areas. Let's say to use this mark in Andhra Pradesh only. Other than Andhra Pradesh, I will using this mark. Or let's say the person I'm authorizing, the trademark is registered under my name in all overall India for the complete Indian market. But I transfer or I licensing this mark to use this mark, let's say MSA in South India or South or West India of the country. So this is the licensing, or I am transferring this right MSA for the period of 6 months or let's say 10 years to this XYZ person. So this is a called of transfer with certain rights, certain restrictions for the purpose of 10 years only. If I completely transfer or completely assigning the rights to X person, then that rights or the trademark will be completely transferred. This all process will be covered or duly complied with the Trademark Act, and the persons both the transferee or the transfer required to execute a deed of assignment, and the deed of assignment should confirm whether it's a partial transfer or certain with a certain restriction, or it's a with some restrictions as well. It's a with goodwill or without goodwill. So after that, there is a concept of well-known trademark as well. In India, there are only 140 marks are well-known in 45 classes. There are only 140 marks, which are determined by the Supreme Court of India or the High Court of different states of India, that this mark or certain mark or the 140 marks which are registered under the Trademark Act as a well-known trademark to be a well-known. This is a upgradation of the upgrade version of the trademark. Then there is a trademark general. If a person file an application, as we discussed in the earlier slides as well, if a mark is registered or accepted by the examiner, so he will publish that trademark in the trademark general and invite opposition or objections from the general public. So once a week, trademark general will be published by the trademark authority and invite objections from the general public. This is all about the Trademark Act from my side. Now come to the Copyright Act. Copyright Act is come up in 1957 and effective from the 1958. Copyright is a right given by the law of creator of literacy, dramatic, musical, and artistic work, and procedure of cinematography, film, and sound recording. In fact, it is a bundle of rights including inter alia, right of reproduction, communication to the public, adaptation and translation of work. There could be a slightly difference variation in the composition of the right depending on the work. Copyright ensures certain minimum safeguards of the right of the author over their creation, thereby protecting and rewarding creativity, creativity being the keystone of the progress, which is also confirmed by the WIPO as well. No civilized society can be afford to ignore the basic requirement of encouraging the same. Economic and social development of society is dependent on creativity. The protection provided by copyright to the efforts of writers, artists, designers, dramatic, musician, artists, architects, and producer of sound recording, cinematographic film, and computer softwares creates an atmosphere conducive to creativity, which induces them to create more, motivates others to create. What are the type of work can be copyright? In earlier slide, we discussed that the literacy can be copyright, dramatic can be copyright, musical can be copyright, artistic work can be copyright, cinematic film copyright, sound recording can be copyright. What are the literacy? What are the dramatic? What are the artistic work? What are the sound recordings can be copyrighted? So in this slide, we are discussing this. Literacy means print, writing, irrespective of the quality of style of the work. In literacy, this presentation, which is reflecting on your screen as well, can be copyrighted, or the articles we publish, or the literature published by the any college or institutions or university can be copyrighted. Same with the dramatic recreation, cinema, choreographic work, or entertainment in dumb show, arrangement or acting shop of which is fixed in writing or otherwise, but does not include cinematographic film. Musical, consisting of music, include any graphical notation of such work. We are heard various instances where come up with the news that this music or this song is infringed or copied from the other song or other musical notes. So under this act, we can file an application for the infringement of copyright and stop them to use and publish this copyrighted product. Or even though if we do not copyright that our artistic work or literacy or dramatic or musical art or work, then even though we can also file the infringement of our copyright, our work before the civil courts. Same with the artistic work. If a person painted or sculpture or drawing or engraving or a photograph something, that also be copyright. Cinematographic films, work of visual recording like films, short videos, TikTok videos and all, that also can be a copyright. Sound recording, recording of sound from which sounds can be produced regardless of the medium on which such recording is made or the method by which the sounds are produced. What type of rights are covered? In case of literacy, dramatic, or musical work, the exclusive right to reproduce, including the storage of any medium by electronic means. So this slides covered the what kind of rights, what type of rights are covered under a particular type of copyright. In literacy, dramatic and musical work, there is an exclusive right of reproduce. Same in the current era, these series are come up with a few fusions of old songs, old musical albums. So under this right, he is producing or recreating the existing musical works again and again. So the exclusive right of reproduce, including storage in any medium by electronic means, issue copies, public information, make any film or sound recording in respect of that work, to translate and to adapt the work, and the right of communication to the public. Same with the we have seen the number of movies as well, where translated or translated versions of the films are reproduced. Let's say the Hollywood series of film are translated in Hindi and produced in Bollywood or Indian theaters. Same with the Bollywood movies are reproduced in various other regional languages, either in Punjabi or in Tamil or Telugu or Malayalam or Bengali. So they are reproduced. Under this right, they are using this reproducing or right to communicate to the public. So in case of computer programs can also be a copyright, and all right are mentioned for literacy work in addition to the selling, giving on hire, or offering of sale or hire for commercial rental any copy of the computer program. Microsoft is a classic example of this copyrighted product. He can store or reproduce whatever the components or the MS Office we using, Windows we are using, they can sell, giving on hire, because they are giving the license to use this the particular version of their softwares for a period of 1 year or 2 year or 5 years or lifelong. So under this provisioning, they are using or giving access to use this mark or use this their computer programs. in India. In case of artistic work, the right of the copyright holder to reproduce the work in any material form. This may include storing in any medium by electronic or other means, or dissecting a two-dimension work in three-dimension or vice versa. Copyright in an artistic work also include the exclusive right to communicate the work in public, issue copy of it, includes it in a cinematographic film, and translate or adapt the work in any way. Artistic work can be if copyrighted, can be reproduced either in the two dimension or the three dimension, either in a different languages or the regional languages or different languages in available in the world. So under this right, a copyright holder can reproduce or recreate or translate in different visual of means its work. Now come to the cinematographic films. The right of a copyright holder is to make copies of the film on any medium, electronic or otherwise, either in a digital mode or in a offline mode, that is a Nukkad Natak or a theater or something else, including copies in the form of photographs that form part of a film, sell or give on hire, offer for sale, hire any copy of the film, to sell, give, offer for sale on commercial rental copies of the film, and communicate the film to the public. Now come up to the sound recording rights of a copyright holder. Copyright holder has to make any sound recording, importing it to any medium, including storing of it on any medium, or sell or give on commercial rental, offer for sale such rental, and to communicate the sound recording to the public. So these are the right under the different work of a copyright holders. So if any person copyrighted its work, then he has the following rights, which is reflecting in this thing. What are the main other provisions covered under or given under the Copyright Act? What are the requirements for qualification under copyright? There is only one qualification, that is original work only. If your work is original, then it can be copyrighted. That doesn't mean that if a person copyrighted a product or produce a product, and we are creating our work with a slightly difference, so we can also copyrighted that product as well. So fees are depending on the work style. Fees are differentiated from the 500 to 5,000 depending upon the product work we are copyrighted. Term of the copyright registration is up to lifetime plus 60 years counted from the year following the death of an author. If I copyrighted a product or copyrighted my work, then it can be available, or it is copyrighted till my death of after my death and 60 years plus. So no person can use that work without my permission or without my legal heirs after my death up to the 60 years. Licensing and assignment of copyright. Same with the trademark. Copyright has also give a facility if a person, if an author, if a copyright holder wants or given permission to use my work or sell that work in a general public, so I can allow, I am authorized, I have a right to licensing my work, my rights to any other person. Even I can completely sell out my work to some other person after executing or complying the requirement of the Copyright Act. Then come up with the infringement. Same with the Trademark Act. A person whose product, whose work is copyrighted is infringed or without the permission of the copyright holder or the author, then the author or the copyright holder can file an infringement case before the civil court and sue the injunctions of the infringement as well. Now, coming to the Patent Act, which is come into enforce in 2005. Under this Patent Act, we are going to cover what is patent, what kind of invention can be patented, a right granted by Patent Act 2005, what cannot be patented under the Patent Act 2005, and miscellaneous provisions of the Patent Act. So, what is patent? A patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention. Granted for exclusive right for an invention. In other words, a patent is an exclusive right to a product or a process that generally provide a new way of doing something or offer a new technical solutions to a problem. To get a patent, technical information about the invention must be disclosed to the public in a patent application. When a person going to file an application before the patent authority, he need to give a complete step-by-step process and give a complete literature about that patent to the in its application and submit before the patent authority, so that it can be available in the public, so that that process cannot be patented or cannot be used by general public in for their commercial purpose. The patent owner can give permission to or license, same as confirmed under the Trademark Act as well as the Copyright Act, other party to use the invention on mutual agreed terms by executing the deeds or terms of agreement. The owner may also sell the right to the invention to someone else who will then become the new owner of the patent. Same with the trademark and copyright. The patent holder can transfer or completely sell their patented product or patent to someone else, and by executing or complying all the requirement of the Patent Act, the new owner will be registered as a patent holder. Once a patent expires, the protection ends and the invention enter the public domain. This is anyone can commercially exploit the invention without infringing the patent. Once, unlikely with the Trademark Act and the Copyright Act. Trademark Act, under the Trademark Act, trademark can be renewed after 10 years and after 10 years and go on. But patent is registered for a particular period, and after that period is complete, the renewal process is not going on. So, if the patent is expired, then general public or other person can use that patent product without approval of the patent holder. What kind of invention can be protected? Let me give a classic example of the Tata Nano. In Tata Nano, there are 150 products or 150 parts of Nano are patented by the Tata. There are 150 parts. So patent can be granted for invention in any field of technology, from an everyday kitchen utensils to a nanotechnology chips. This cover all, that any field of technology, from everyday of kitchen utensils to a nanotechnology chip. An invention can be a product such as a chemical compound or a process. For example, a process for producing a specific chemical compound. Many products, in fact, contain a number of inventions. From example, a laptop can be involved 100 of invention working together. Right granted by Patent Act 2005. if the grant of a patent is for a product, then the patentee has a right to prevent others from making, using, offering for sale, selling, or importing the patented product in India. If I patented a, let's say, a pen, a new technological pen in India, then that kind of patented product cannot be even imported in India from other origins of the world. The right of the patent holder is completely in the market of India, or the where it is registered. So once a product is patented, the patentee or the patentee has only right to using or making or offering for sale in the general public, or selling the product in the public, or importing that patented product in India is completely right of the patentee. Once the patentee has the registration certificate in his name. If the patent is for a process, then the patentee has a right to prevent other from using the process, using the product directly obtained by the process, offering for sale, selling of or importing the product in India directly obtained by process. So once your process is patented by the patent authority under the Patent Act 2005, then thus the process cannot be used by any other person in India for producing that product. So what cannot be patented under the Patent Act? An invention which is frivolous or obvious in nature, that cannot be patented. Contrary to the established nature law, which is confirmed by the nature, that cannot be patented. Let's say an apple, the shape of apple cannot be patented, that no one can patent it that the apple is produced or invented or patented by someone person. Contrary to the law, but a patent application can only be filed under the Indian laws or the laws of the respective countries. So if a product is banned, or a product cannot be, or process cannot be opt in India, then under any law, then the process of that product cannot be patented in India. Morality, injurious to public health. If a process or a product is injurious to the public health, then the same could not be patented in India. Okay, so a merely discovery of a scientific principle. If a person going for file an application that that water component, that is C2O, cannot be patented. A chemical substance or the scientific principle of a product cannot be patented. The formulation of an abstract theory, a merely discovery of a new property or new use of a known substance or process, machine or apparatus, cannot be patented. A substance obtained by a mere mixture result only in the aggression of a property of a component thereof, or a process for producing such substance. A mere arrangement or rearranging or duplication of work devices. A method of agriculture, horticulture, inventions relating to atomic energy are not patentable in India. What are the main other provisions under the Patent Act? Term. If your application is accepted, then the patent authority give a permission to use that patent product or process for a period of 20 years from the date of your application. Renewal. Patentee has to renew the patent every year by paying the renewal fees, but that is up to the 20 years only from the date of application. Restoration. A request for restoration of patent can be filed within 18 months from the date of cessation of patent along with the prescribed fees. Let's say if I filed for patenting a product or process, and it is accepted by the patent authority as well. Now I required to make a renewal application or file a renewal application and paying the renewal fees every year. But on the fifth year, I forgot, or I suppose I feel that the patent product is not commercially viable. So I stopped renewing that my patent product of renewal my patent rights. But after a year, I found that my product or my process is commercially viable, but my renewal process, my patent license is expired. Now within a period of 18 months, I can file for the restoration. After 18 years, the patent is expired or lapsed. No one can file an application for patenting that mark again. Then that is available for the general use in the general public by any person. Compulsory licensing. If I if I, if I patentee holder or person who register or patent his process of something, then he can allow some other person for using that process. Even same like a trademark and copyright act, we can licensing any our patent product to another person. Same with the trademark and copyright, IP rights conferred confirm that infringement of a patent can be filed before the civil court, and civil court take a necessary actions against the infringement case and direct the person who is unlawfully using that patent process or patent product without the knowledge, without the permission of the patentee. So these are all are the my side. Anyone can reach. Thank you from my side. This is all about this session, and if anyone have any query, please ask. Bharat sir? Bharat sir? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, you just transfer the host rights to me, sir.
Sir.
Uh,
How to transfer the rights?
Sir, you just click on my name. That is Sims Bengaluru, me. You just click on Sims Bengaluru.
Okay.
There you will get more option.
Yes, sir.
In
Make
more,
host.
you just yes.
Okay. Done, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mohit sir, I thank you for engaging this session.
Thank you, sir.
If participants are having any doubts, you can put that in chat. If participants are having any doubts, you can put that in chat. Okay. Sir, actually, I'm having one doubt.
Sir, please.
Sir, the thing is, sir, I'm very good in painting or drawing,
Sir.
and I'm very creative. And if I design some logo or trademark with imaginary product name,
Sir.
can I register it?
Sir, you are giving two example. One is painting. Your
Yes.
work can be
Huh.
copyrighted, or your painting that you prepared can be
Okay.
copyrighted.
Okay.
Second, if you register your creating any mark or developing a mark for using a product for producing or selling the product in market, that can be a
Okay.
copyrighted. That can be a trademark.
Okay,
You
sir.
can use.
And another thing, is it
Yes, sir.
compulsory that I have to start manufacturing the product once I register the trademark for the
No,
product?
no, sir.
No. I can have the trademark with me till its validity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, though I don't manufacture the product or service, it is okay, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number of startups or number of industries are using this.
Yes.
There are classic example of Reliance.
Huh.
Whenever Reliance come up with an idea, he
Huh.
filed a numerous of application before the Trademark Act, under the Trademark Act, as well as the Copyright Act, as well as the if it is Design Act, and if it is covered in the Patent Act, then patent applications are also made.
Okay.
Approximately 50 applications are generally made by the Reliance in
Okay.
one go.
Yes, participants, any doubts? Okay, I request participants to fill the feedback form. I will be putting the feedback form in chat box now itself. So kindly fill the feedback form, which will be helpful for us in organizing next webinars on different topics.
Sir, you can
Yes.
also, yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you can also share my PPT with all the participants so that they can be beneficial from this.
Yes, sir. I will be sharing it for my students.
Great, sir.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.